In this video, I'm going to create a pivot table and then I'm going to use the month and the year to kind of see the data a little bit differently. In my opinion, whenever you have data and you have something that goes along with a time frame, for example, something that happened in a certain month or a certain year, I think that is really valuable information and you can use that to see data in a different way. And overall, it just helps kind of organize and to make it easier to understand. So the first thing I'm going to do is create my pivot table. You can select any cell in your table and then go up top to insert and then hit pivot table. And right here, it's automatically detecting the cells that my entire table is in. So you can pretty much leave that as is. It's usually going to be correct. And then here, it's asking me if I want my pivot table in a new worksheet or an existing worksheet. I always do new worksheet just so it's a little bit cleaner and more organized. So I'm going to keep it as new and I'm going to hit OK. And then now it creates a new worksheet for us. And here we can start building out the pivot table. So I know we had sales count and the quantity count in my table as well. So I'm going to throw one of those in the values. So I'm going to start by just dragging sales here. There we go. Sales. And I'm going to drop it into my values. And then now we have the option of adding additional fields to the rows, the filters, or the columns. And what that's doing is it's asking us, what do you want to see sales up against? You know, how do you want it organized? So I guess we can do region, right? So let's do region in the rows. And now it breaks out the sales. For East, we had 16,000, 15,000 for North. So now it's showing us those sales by the region in the rows. Now we do have the year and the month as well. So let's drag the year onto the rows and I'm going to drag it above the region. And when I do that, it's going to group every region by the year first. So now it's saying that in 2020, in the East region, we had this many sales. 2020 North had this many sales. The same thing for 2021 and then 2022. So that's one way to look at it. You could drag the year underneath region, and that's going to show data a little bit differently now. It's going to go back to grouping by region first. So that's why these big bolded headers are now region. And it's going to say that, okay, in East, you had, 16,500 sales. And out of those sales, this many came from the year 2020, this many came from 2021, and then this many came from 2022. So it's the same information, but this allows you to see it in a different way, just depending on, how you want to see it. You can drag year over to columns, and now it kind of keeps the regions up on the left side, and then the years on the top. So it's a good way to like see everything laid out in front of you, and you can get a better idea of, South 2020 looked like this, North 2021 looked like this. So again, just different ways to look at the same information. We can do the same thing with month as well. So I'm going to take the year out of my fields and I'll add month. So let me add month on top of region first. Now it's going to prioritize by showing the month. But the reason why this isn't completely accurate is because January can exist in any year. So it's saying that in January, there was 3,100 sales that took place. That doesn't really help me too much because this could be all from 2020 or it could be divided equally to, 2020, 2021, and 2022. So that's why whenever I have month, I also like to use year as well. So keeping month there, I can just drag a year on top of it. And then now it's going to group by the year. And then you can expand that. And then it groups by the month and then by region. Because that's the order that we have here. We have year and then month. And if I go down, we have region. So again, same information, just different ways to flip it and pivot it and, to organize it better in my opinion. So that wraps up my quick little video of how to use these time-based fields in a pivot table to organize your information. So if you want to see more pivot table content, just drop me a comment and I can go more into detail about how a pivot table works. But that's going to be it for today, And I will see you all in the next one. Peace.